percent run of Beardblade. Take it away.
Alrighty, hello, Games Done Quick. Hello, hello. It's janglestorm here with this wondrous indie platformer from Glovebox Games near Beardblade. And you wonder, okay, what is this about? What is a Beardblade? What's this about? Well, we'll tell you some about it. I'm just going to launch into the game. There's a lot to talk about. So time will start as soon as I select a new file. So it's going to be in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
All right.
All right. Also, yeah, let me introduce my commentary, fellow Beardblade enthusiasts on site. We have danthevp and beardbarn. Could you further introduce yourself?
I'm danthevp, and I am just a all-around enjoyer of these 2D indie platformers and speedruns alike.
Yeah, and I'm beardbarn or beardbarn. I am fifth place out of 5 in the Beardblade speedrunning community, and yeah, this is just a good time, a beard-based platformer, and yeah, glad to be here.
And on remote commentary, we have the world record for this game with a 47:40, I believe. We have Junkyard Dave. How are you doing, Junkyard Dave?
Hey, from Canada. Good morning. I'm doing pretty good. Don't have the facial hair right now to support the Beardblade, but we support the Beardblade anyway.
Absolutely, we do. So yeah, this first level, you wonder, how did we get here? Well, this is a ship, and this is Brenton, the guy with the beard, who had the sheep stolen by these so-called smugglers, and they got on this boat. So yeah, now we're trying to, save them. So this tutorial, yeah, this level, Dave, can you explain how this used to be when you first started out running this?
It was glorious. So I'm like a very small note. The developer of this game is absolutely amazing. Like, he was an amazing person, is an amazing person. He's still alive, so let's clarify that. And he actually was really, really cool because he kind of had like a hand of God in this thing because he giveth and tooketh a lot. And one of the things that he took away from the speedrunning community, but we'll talk later about some of the stuff that he added, was there was a tutorial skip. So in the first 2 screens, we used to be able to just skip this entire section. It saved about 5 minutes. And one day he was like, no, not anymore.
Too bad. Yeah, well, this is, if anything, a very good starter level just to get used to the mechanics of this game. There's some really cool movement tech here that you'll see throughout the run. And yeah, there's already a couple of cool stuff that we're doing, such as these tiny jumps so we can get past these cannonballs, for instance. All right, so we're heading into a tiny boss fight of sorts. Mostly we have to make sure that we fire back these cannonballs. So it's like this first phase, and then all you have to do is really wait for that red light to flash. And on the third one is when you see the spring appear.
One thing that's kind of worth throwing out is that boss fight is, I wouldn't necessarily say difficult, but it is incredibly easy to accidentally die here on the second section. And if you die, you get sent back actually pretty far.
Yeah, so that's also why I deliberately do these one single hits. It's very tempting to do double hits, but the chances of getting hit are way bigger, so it's a bigger risk in that as well. All right, that concludes the tutorial stage. We now have a cape, so that's going to be really cool. We can float in the air for a little bit. We'll be doing that here and there. Oh yeah, also story-wise, so one of the sheep actually turned out to have an orb. He has an orb. And that orb started glowing and then yeeted all the other sheep off this boat onto this island. Very colorful, beautiful island. And now we have to find the sheep here, so that's pretty much how it starts.
And you'll be able to appreciate just the basic platforming as we see these first couple of stages. It's not going to stay like this for long. So if you like just a little bit slower time, appreciate the graphics, the beautiful backgrounds. You'll also notice these blocks we just passed through. Each level is going to have a day and a night cycle in it, and it's important to the route. And we're going to change it up a little bit here and there, but it was a lot of fun routing this game and just figuring out which version of the level, which auto-scroller we can skip, and it gives a lot of room to breathe and route a game like this.
Yeah, it does allow for a lot of variation for sure. The level sites that we'll be playing will typically be the fastest. We will be skipping various auto-scrollers, for instance. So yeah, it's going to be quick work down there. So at the end of each stage, you fight this smuggling, who you see carrying him around this bag with this sheep. So it's usually a very quick fight. It's just kind of like an exit point of sorts. And now you have this wonderfully smuggling sheep looking at us.
So you'll notice we're now in the night cycle because we went daytime level, nighttime level. You can quit out a level. Sometimes you can go in and out of some other places to force the swap. But, you know, it's convenient when we can to just go straight from day to night because we don't have to add any extra time to the run.
Yeah, this is mostly a vertical level where we have to climb these palm trees. Actually, I didn't need to do that, but also one thing that will be featured quite prominently is me hopping onto these enemies. You can sort of, it's almost like Super Mario Bros, except you don't really hit them, but you kind of bounce on them. The hitbox can be a bit finicky sometimes, so it doesn't always work, but when it does, you can make some quick work with that. And later on, there's going to be some actual speed tech involved in that, where you do skip certain sequences as well.
Yeah, it adds a nice platforming element here that not all the enemies are going to hit you or damage you, that you can really add to that.
No, it really does. Like, it's a really neat mechanic that I think lends itself well to the speedrun. And maybe just before Django gets there, what's kind of interesting is the route and how we originally developed it in like kind of like a day one setting. Just on the note of the developer again, he actually changed a lot of the coins before we do what's called like a money farm coming up. And it's kind of hard to notice now, but like on the way in the first kind of like day and night stages, he actually changed a lot of coins to be like red and purple, which has like an increased value. Because in day one, a lot of these things you can kind of see here were like all, you know, like one coin or whatever, you get like $1 at a time. So he was trying really hard to make the speedrun route viable for the speedrunners that took part in this game. And it was actually a really cool thing because I'll let Django, you know, like explain the money farm coming up. And just kind of like what we're doing. But to put into perspective, the day one money farm was 9.5 minutes. We had to farm for 9.5 minutes.
From what I've heard, yeah, I wasn't there from the beginning, but it was way longer, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things where like you start doing it, it's like, do I want to speedrun this? Like, and then
low percent sounds like a good option.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, so it got drastically reduced down to 1.5 minutes, and that was mainly thanks to the developer allowing actually a bug Birdman and I found and changing some coins in the room that Django can kind of elaborate on later.
Yeah, we're going to get there soon. That's going to be the third cavern level. I do intentionally grab these coins because, as Dave pointed out, there's going to be a bit of a grind. We're going to get a couple of upgrades coming up soon as well, but we'll talk about that some later. So first we have the second cavern level. Most of these earlier levels, it's mostly a matter of you know, getting through as fast as possible, not trying to hit any sides of platforms whatsoever. So just making quick work of that. But that's pretty much straightforward compared to what's coming up later.
Yeah, and the reason we're going to do this money farm is as another point in the game that's made it such a great speedrun is there's nothing really gated outside of the basic abilities that you need to get for all the levels. Once we get access to power-ups and different abilities, you can buy them all from the very first shop. And it really gives us a lot of room to play the game most of the time with the fastest abilities.
Yeah, there's a couple of, if you really would go out of your way to buy all of the upgrades, it's going to cost a lot of money, but we're only going to get a couple of things. So thankfully the money grind isn't taking too long in that sense.
Yeah, we originally routed it to have like one power up and then obviously the roll, which we'll get into a little bit later. But what was kind of interesting about it is like no matter what, like we had issues with trying to get Branson 2,500 gold. Like this was like the magic number that we needed. And again, the developer kind of came through and helped us out with that one room that you'll see pretty shortly here.
Yeah, also, I think I want to point out here with these smuggling fights, this is a bit of a variation upon what you saw in the first few levels, in that you see the smuggling hiding behind bushes or these barrels. What I try to do there is, for these couple of stages, I try to one-cycle them, but it also involves you know, getting to that position where he hides out as soon as possible, and then you know, mashing pretty much as fast as you can. So it's going to be less of a thing later on, but for a few stages, if you don't want to lose time there necessarily, you might want to see if you can get it in one cycle. Okay, now we're in this level, and this is the money grind we were talking about. So we got this beer climb, which allows us to grab these bars, and we can pull ourselves, or we can yeet ourselves up here. And yeah, we're just spending some time here in this top right corner and grab these coins. These 4 are worth 80 in total. And we want to get to 2,400 coins before we leave the room, because we want to have 2,500 in total as soon as we exit this level. So yeah, that part is going to take a while. I think a little bit, but it's a good time, excellent time, I should say, for some donations if you have them.
Indeed we do. We have a $100 donation from Norimaki saying, not to split hairs, but this guy's beard is a cut above the rest. Now, am I talking about Branson's or Jangles? I'll let you all decide. Good luck on the Beard Blade, Jangle. The Bubblegum crew is cheering you on.
Thank you so much, Nori. Much appreciated. You can do a couple more.
Great. We also have a $100 donation from Owly saying, 1 year ago, I was a new college graduate a week into my first full-time job. I'm still here a year later and still watching GDQ. What a way to enjoy this milestone. Best of luck to all the runners. Congratulations, Owly, and thank you for your support. We also have $50 from I Provide the Paint. What the heck is a beard blade? How does it spoopy? Let's find out together while we give money to one of the best causes ever. Thank you so much for your donation.
So I guess just to kind of finish with the developer note, this room in the top right corner used to have 35 total coins. And in every room that you can enter, like a door or anything like that, when you walk into this game, the door gets canceled. So it's like a one-way entry, you can't come back in. So one day, when I was really trying to route and figure out, okay, like how can we earn Branson some money? I walked into this door and then I was able to leave and then I was able to walk in again. So I was like, developer, please, please don't patch this out. And I said, the top coins in this top corner, I'm like, there's 35. I'm like, could you just happen to make them 80? And he was like, yeah. So not a lot of speedrunning kind of, I guess, communities have a developer so accessible to improving the route or wanting to make it viable, because on a very casual level, like this change doesn't mean anything. Most people will walk in and literally grab 80 coins and just walk out and then move on. So I thought it was really cool he was able to change that for us.
Yeah, big shout out to Glovebox Games for being so speedrunner friendly, really. Just kind of thinking with the runners, okay, what can we do to make this easier for them? And this is definitely such a quality upgrade, really. Oh yeah, so yeah, we got minecarts. So I already got most of the money together already. So usually that happens either before or as you're about to exit the level. So got a couple of these jumps.
We're going to just grab the last bit of money here. So when we finish up this level, we can go make the 2 purchases we're going to make for this run. And it's really going to change the movement. I don't want to spoil anything quite yet, but it only gets better.
It's gonna go places, let me tell you that.
I'm sure everybody has noticed just all the inspirations from different retro games, and there's going to be another one coming up as well.
Oh, there sure is, yeah. Let's see. One more sheep. This too will be significantly faster from now on. So, okay, we're done with this level. So what we're gonna do, you saw this tiny house here, or this place. This is a barbershop run by this guy, who we actually rescued from the ship as well. This is for Bo, who also gave us our magical beard powers. So, you know, man of many talents apparently. And he also sells some really cool upgrades. So we're gonna get 2 things here. So namely, we're gonna get the brown vitamin and the rolling beard wash. You want a rolling beard wash, what does that do? So first of all, the brown vitamin makes us a little bit stronger. The rolling beard wash, on the other hand, maybe you guessed it already, makes us roll.
Let's go.
GDQ roll in chat, by the way. So yeah, this is still a pretty short level because it's mostly us going up here towards this boss fight, but you get to see a bit of a taster of what's to come.
And the lighthouse shop also changes from day to night and saves us a title card, so we're going to use that a couple times in the run as well.
I was just going to say that too. Every lighthouse visit is actually really important, not only to upgrade Branson, but it actually cycles the day-night cycle. And then on top of that too, in some instances, it's actually faster to go into the shop and then leave than it is to actually go on the stage and then exit. So all that was very much routed to make sure that we're always on the proper day and night cycle. And just to kind of elaborate one more time too, on the day and night cycles, it's not just like a palette swap. Like every single stage completely changes, and it's a completely different stage, both day and night. So if you're a completionist and you really kind of like games like that, it changes everything about the level.
Yeah, I think the closest comparison is a game like Wario Land 3, where you also have these day-night cycle things, or like separate stage sides.
Yeah, there's some entire mechanics that you don't even see if you're just in the day or just in the night. There's really so much content in this game. We're only going to see not even half of it.
Anyway, yeah, this boss fight here, this barnacle hook barley we're fighting, it consists of a couple of sections that are purely scripted, so you have to wait for the bumps that you can grab and then throw back at him. And then it's followed by this part where we just have to duck and wait for this chain to pass us. The interesting thing is, if I find myself positioned in a different on a different part, it does actually go diagonally, for instance. So I'm just gonna hang out here because why not? Okay, and that's the end of the fight, and very tellingly, it's ending with a yeet.
Yeet.
There it goes. But yeah, that was a fight. So yeah, now we rescued the girl, Mora, and it turns out she lives on this island, and yeah, this is one of the longer text boxes, really, along with longer dialogues going on. And that's only for Bo appears again, and it turns out, oh hey, Mora has an orb as well. So
yeah,
orb.
Right.
There's going to be a couple of those. Yeah, we wonder what are those orbs about. Maybe we should keep it safe for the time being. And Branson is like, okay, I'll keep them for the time being. It's actually possible to do in-between jumps as well, if you really time it precisely. You cannot actually head further to the orb, sadly, which would be a nice little strat if you could do that, but it's mostly neutral jumps.
Are you planning to do this with 3 hearts, or are you going to grab a safety heart?
I'm just going to do it like this.
I commend you. The cool thing about this game is after every boss fight, there is that like an optional health upgrade. You can grab a heart to increase your health. You can also increase your health in the barbershop too. But the way that we originally routed the speedrun, we skip all the heart upgrades because every single time that you grab a heart, it actually does waste some time. So it becomes more of a dangerous speedrun, and damage boosts like this become extremely selective because you're not always in a situation where you can either recover your health or have more than 3 health to work with.
Yeah, at least you have 3 health here still. But yeah, this upcoming part is also interesting. So we have this clairvoyant, as it's called, who's going to chase us. But thankfully, if we have the roll mechanic through, so we can just roll away from him. So this part, we're just going to make sure that we get across from here. Mostly because of one thing at the end, that we want to make a certain cycle. At least we have enough time for that, so let's see. Got these jumps. Some of these spoolers we keep alive, like that, and then there we go.
Right.
And this is basically why we do it, just to make that hop and we can get over there, really.
Also, shout out the music in this game. It's very charming, very 16-bit platformer inspired.
It's great, yeah.
And that vitamin upgrade means we can kill all these smuglins in 2 hits now instead of 3, which is going to make sure we can always get the quickest kill, whether they're in the bushes or on the platforms.
Yeah, that part is becoming a lot easier. Speaking of easier, I'm not sure about this level though. If you like balloons, this is your level though. So
low-key, like hardest level in the game, I think. So.
Yeah.
This is one of those levels of all time for sure. Let's see. Okay.
It's so tempting to just want to go, but the balloons aren't consistent, and so you really just have to react in the moment.
Yeah, and also some other things as well. Yeah, you just have to. There's parts where I'm deliberately trying to play it safer, just because I'm not sure what's coming up ahead. So sometimes you try to get lucky and get additional hops on even more balloons, but yeah, you just have to wait and see what happens. See this part.
Yeah, as far as I understand on this stage, there are patterns that the balloons spawn with, but there are also RNGs. So as they said, like it's not consistent. Where if you just like blaze through the screen, sometimes the balloon that's usually there is not there. And then it's especially true under death as well, because if you die, it seems to change some of the patterns as well. So it makes this screen very, very scary, actually, because death here is like 40 seconds or more.
Yeah, if you're starting to get used to certain global cycles in this run, then dying is not the best option now.
No.
And I mean, running with only 3 hearts, just makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah. So this level is interesting in that it utilizes the roll cancel pretty effectively in a couple of places. We're even going to do like a platform skip of sorts, but also here. So by holding up, we actually cancel the roll. And so if we want to get ourselves on certain platforms in the midst of our rolling jump, for instance, you can do that.
Yeah, these are sequence breaks, whether you know it or not. We're skipping a lot of these flowers and using that roll cancel and the momentum you get off of it.
First try.
Nice.
Hey.
That's actually a pretty
Yeah.
tough one.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. That's not an easy skip. That was very good.
Yeah, you really need to gain the right height and then roll jump and then cancel at exactly the right moment. So that was really nice to get first try.
That was a really clean
On a quick
stage.
note, oops, sorry, you go.
So yeah, this
I was
is
gonna say-
go ahead.
sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, on a quick note, I was just going to say, Dan obviously mentioned kind of like the visual style. Glovebox Games, I just want to point that out there too, is 2 people, 2 developers. One guy did all the graphics, one guy did all the coding. So the game looks, I think, fantastic, but the fact that it's only a 2-man crew is insane to me.
Yeah, that's just amazing, yeah. They really pulled off something special here. Right, it's time for another, boss fight. It's mostly an escape of sorts. We have to, we have these 4 sisters, all of their own attacks. And it's all about really avoiding attacks. We don't really attack ourselves. So it's going to be a little bit of this. And also some really cool in-between stuff. You'll see that soon enough. Because, hey, suddenly we're in the Lion King. Well, except minus the Stampede, but...
There is no lack for inspiration in this game. You can tell it's, again, made by folks that really appreciated and love the classics.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. Like this 100% I think comes from Lion King, and that's it. I'm not sure there's another game that ever did that other than Lion King. Until Beardblade, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavily inspired by a lot of retro things, for sure.
Is now a good time to sneak in a couple of donations?
Absolutely, go for it.
All right, we've got $5 from Downside Up that says $5 for the sheer audacity of running this beard-themed game, trimming minutes and seconds off a runtime like a true barbarian. Downside Up, thank you so much for the donation. That pun game is on point.
Yeah, keep those donations coming. It's for a really good cause.
Yeah, I'm also interested to hear, like, what are your preferred beard styles out there? Throw in some donations with those comments out there.
Go for it, yes.
We've got some support for you, Jangle, here. $25 from Bramblin Man saying, go fast, Jangle. You got this.
Thanks so much, Bramblin. All right, so yeah, that was the fight. Well, the boss level, I guess.
It's another orb.
Or
Yeah, or... Yeah, that concludes this trip through the forest. Now it's time for this shipyard. Even more fun stuff coming up here.
Interestingly, in this world, if you want to call it, almost all the auto-scrollers are located here. So there's going to be a lot of kind of like day and night switching to avoid them.
Yeah, this
Because the
part is going to be
difference
especially heavy on the day-night switches because,
Yes.
as it turns out, the night levels are typically faster.
And big shout outs to the Birdman because the upcoming skip came from him. He was one of kind of like the day 1 runners and has a very competitive time. But there is a skip coming up that he figured out and then we implemented.
Yeah, the skip that Dave was mentioning is right here. It involves a slight bit of a damage boost, but after that we can hop on this enemy and just do this. So it saves a little bit of time.
It's pretty considerable, I think about 10 seconds or so. Otherwise you have to kind of like walk around the level. But I love how all the sheep look when they get pulled out of the bag.
Yeah, like I said, it looks so smug.
Yeah.
It looks so smug.
Like, do I really need to be rescued by you, Branson?
Yeah, thanks, Branson. You're a great help.
They were just so comfy in that bag.
Yeah, it was a nice bag. Okay, so as you saw now, we're switching the cycles here, and we get the night stage once again, and there's going to be some other water stuff, so let's go for a swim. We got a couple of creatures here. They don't actually hurt you. They're called Cousteau. They're totally fine.
And you can make all of this, all the routing in the speedrun you can make without any upgrades, but you can upgrade your breath and some other stuff as well. But it's nice that we don't have to do that in order to complete these levels. We have these little hidey hole shortcuts as well. Just another small details that the devs have thrown in there for us.
Yeah, that was one shortcut there, yeah.
What's actually cool about that shortcut is one of the times actually my girlfriend and I were racing this game, and he was in our chat, and he's like, did anybody find this yet? And nobody did. So he pointed out like you could crawl through that wall, and it saved us a little bit of extra time too.
And sometimes it's easy to get caught up in thinking you know the fastest way, and you stop looking at the clear markers in the graphics.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until watching Jangle practice yesterday, and I was like, oh, I totally missed this.
So the thing, also, you know what the thing is? Hopping on water. It's a really cool thing. I wish I could do that IRL, but there you go.
You probably can. It just requires like 80 years of practice. So.
Yeah, that's going to be a long time. At least we can do it in video games.
That's true.
Okay, so we just skipped this cycle going into the level, but now we can go to the barbershop, which is actually a faster way of setting up for that, because normally when you do that, going from a level, you also have the title card that you have to wait first for before you can actually go back to the map. So this is a little bit faster for the rest of the shipyard levels.
This level's a lot of fun to watch.
It's actually, in my opinion, maybe like the second best level for just how movement feels.
It's really satisfying, yeah. You can roll quite a bit here, and just in general, just also dealing with those cannonball cycles, it just lines up really well if it goes according to plan.
So very like Donkey Kong Country-esque with like the pirates and the ship, and there's a lot now that I think about the balloons and throwing barrels and...
There's quite a few references.
Rolling.
The developer told me a long time ago Donkey Kong Country Suite, or Donkey Kong whatever, Diddy Kong's Quest was one of the inspirations for sure in this game.
Yeah, you could definitely see that there.
Even start out on a ship.
Yeah, also that. Okay, then quite get the quick kill there. So the like I said, the benefit of the brown vitamin is you can do things like this faster, and it usually means that I can actually defeat the smugglers whilst they're still on the ground. So I try to roll towards them and then do these very quick hits. But you have to roll to, towards a certain position and then do the hits. But yeah, sometimes you still miss that.
And it's easy for them to just run all over the place when you don't have the roll and you don't get in that position to force them to the other side of the screen. Sometimes they can just sit there and stare at you all smug.
Honestly, yeah, like they can run away really easy. And this stage maybe gets my vote for like the third hardest stage to not die in.
This stage can be a thing.
Yeah.
Also notice the no swimming sign. We're not going to swim, by the way. But that's one of the very few things we're not going to do. There will be doing some other things, hopefully. Let's see. Okay,
I love the commitment to the beard animations, like even climbing a chain. I'm sure Branson can climb a chain with his hands, but no. Full-on beard all the way. It is the life.
Just everything, really. It's a really strong beard. I mean, Forbo gave him some incredibly strong powers, apparently. But yeah, this is, also because gaps, but also because dropping platforms, those really add to the difficulty of this level. So sometimes you just have to wait for a little bit. But I guess you could potentially go for some really risky setups, but yeah, it can be tough. Let's see if I can get this, though. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's also fun one to do.
To do that entire stage on basically one cycle is maybe one of the hardest things in the game.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly punishing too, because if at any time you miss one of those platforms, the checkpoints in that stage are not so generous because you end up losing again like 30 or 40 seconds on a death.
Yeah, it's kind of a trade-off. Casually, the game's really forgiving. You don't have lives, so you're not going to game over. But once the speedrun hits in, you've got a lot more risks to take.
Yeah, for like if you play casually, it's also really generous. So it's not necessarily that long of a playthrough, but it is a lot of fun for sure. and very forgiving, I think.
All right, next boss.
Yep, Din.
This is where we see the vitamin, I think, more than anywhere, because with the way that we routed in the vitamin, which increases Branson's damage, it allows us to actually 1-cycle or 2-cycle most bosses. And just that one power-up was able to do that. And you'll literally see a jangle, you can kind of like walk through everybody and explain it, but the boss now especially, you'll see the vitamin at work.
Yeah, so in that first part, the rock drops are, as far as I know, pretty much RNG. So you hope that they drop as nearby as possible. But yeah, there were a couple of ones that were a little bit further away. But the most crucial part is that you don't make sure that your hits get blocked. So you want to keep some distance in that sense, at least. And for this part, yeah, you just want to make sure that you hit these tentacles. You get them in position and then you try to attack them from the side, really. So see if I can do this too. Okay, perfect.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah, this is, if it goes like this, it's great, because you can lose a lot of time on this fight. Like, if you die at the end there with the tentacles, you lose like a minute. So it's just great if that works out.
Yeah, and the positioning to kill those all in one cycle is really tough. That was a really good job.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, another orb.
Another orb, by the way. You're all the best. All right, time for Michi's Manor. Looks a bit spooky. What is all this about?
I mean, this is at the end of the Scary Games block.
I mean, true.
Yeah,
True.
Now we know why it was slotted here.
Yeah,
This manor right here.
somebody saw Michi.
Yeah. So meet this goes here, who owns this theater. Michi the Magnificent, as he's called. But yeah, you see these kids. They will be kidnapped real soon. And also, furthermore, so this is going to be an interesting set of stages, because Branson will lose one of his hearts temporarily. So I'll only have 2 HP for the next few stages, which is going to add an extra layer there.
Yeah, there's no room for error in these 3 stages, and they're not 3 of the easier stages either. So
At least 2 of the 3 are tough. Yeah, can be tough.
It's interesting too, because at this point you can actually have a lot of hearts and it actually reduces you down to 2. So it's not even just like -1. You do this entire section no matter how many hearts you have, it's 2.
yeah.
Time to hit the road, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stage is absolutely rough. In my opinion, might be one of the hardest stages in the speedrun to just not die again.
Really satisfying to get it done right, though.
Yes, it's very satisfying in that kind of way. But these little kind of like guys that are hiding out in the nuts, they can snipe you, and the developer is absolutely enthralled. Like, there were so many times where I would send him like a random clip and get him like shot out of midair, and he's like, yes. So
He's back there controlling them.
yes, that's like mainly kind of like the thing that Branson has to deal with here. Realistically, a lot of these platform cycles, you can make it seem like that.
Yeah, so I was actually gonna make a jump over there, but they were ahead of me, so yeah, obviously didn't work out. At least I got that jump. That's always a fun one to get as well. Like, the jump on there is actually really precise. Like, there's very little window to do the subsequent jump there.
Yes, actually, that skip was something I read it in a long time ago, but it's not a free one.
No,
it's really easy to kind of like miss the nut when you're jumping on there and just fall.
Yeah, this music is so cool. I just love the song. Let's see if this goes well. Oh. Okay, well, it's a good thing I rolled away from there.
Like
otherwise I would have gotten sniped.
Yeah, and getting flashbacks.
Oh yeah, this is the set of stages where you can also just exit the level as soon as you get there, so you don't even save the sheep. You save the kid, but not the sheep.
You'll notice on the overworld too, where it's blinking what cycle you need to be on to rescue the kid as well. So it's a nice little indicator there.
Our Bloody Tears-esque song, banger alert.
Yeah. By the way,
yes, absolutely.
Any
mass cat jam in chat, like 100. This is the best song in the game by far.
All your jams.
Any video game fans in chat, by the way, because here's video games.
Yes, this is a video game in a video game.
It's immensely a video game.
And I want to officially petition for a full game of this.
Yeah,
we're talking about it in the practice room.
Yes.
Glove box, I will pay you.
5 levels.
Yes.
That's all we need.
No, 100%. But I was going to say, it's worth noting too, the physics completely changed. And the developer a long time ago actually told me that this was like the most expensive level to produce, just because it has a completely different physics engine. It has very unique music and completely unique and original assets.
I would believe that.
So,
yeah, also,
but yeah, it plays great. It feels great. Like, this is a really cool level.
Yeah, this isn't just a knockoff just to have it in there. It's
Also, I was actually trying to go for cycle skip there, or a certain platform that I want to get to. Junkyard Dave actually has it in his world record, but if you jump up there like without losing any time, you can make that. So that's pretty cool. Oh.
Arguably, one of the hardest strats in the game is to make that one cycle skip.
Yeah, I've only gotten it like a couple of times, so yeah, if you can get that, that's really amazing. All right.
So interestingly, there's a small bug here where you can just return to the map. The game and how it checks things, there's normally a cutscene and like dialogue that plays with Branson and the kid after you rescue them. But I guess it checks only up to a certain point if the kid is rescued, so you can just exit the stage and be like, okay, bye.
Yeah,
you don't
bye.
have to listen to the kid, which actually saves quite a bit of time.
Okay, now for another fun one. This is a level with the so-called red sign, green sign. So as the name suggests, as you can possibly see, you can walk as soon as you see the green sign, which is actually pretty nice here.
yeah. Nice.
If you see the red sign though, I cannot move or I'll take damage. So that's kind of a thing to keep in mind. So like right now I just have to wait.
And being at 2 hearts on this stage and having this gimmick in the level was really frustrating on first playthrough for myself at least.
Yes.
You just want to go.
This is one of the more RNG heavy parts as well.
Hugely. It's a 50-50 toss-up every single time he pulls out the sign. It can be green or red. But you're getting pretty good RNG until I curse it by saying that.
Yeah, it's actually super favorable.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Bye. Okay. That's yeah.
Never say anything nice about the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no. the sign said, yeah, deadly drop below. I've been there.
Actually, that sign, I watched the person stream very casually, and he walked up to that sign and he read it, and it said deadly drop below.
Yeah.
She was like, the developer isn't telling the truth, and he jumped down in the pit, and then he died. It's like, oh.
That's a perfect place to hide something.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just an honest sign. It's just a completely honest sign.
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, otherwise the RNG was pretty good. Like, I've definitely had worse than that, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now we go back to the matter. There's one more kid to save, and this is also the boss fight. So let's see who we're going to fight.
This is one of the more RNG heavy boss fights. It's possible that you can kill him with the Brawn vitamin in basically 2 cycles, but you really want to see the boss. He's got basically like 1 out of 5 attacks, I think, and you really want to see him throw out sandbags. The worst attack is the beach ball thing. So please, cat, don't throw the beach ball, or I guess Puppet Branson, sorry.
Yeah. See what we get. Okay, and this is... Okay. Oh, now I have to watch out. Okay. Yeah, every single time you see someone spawn like that, you know you're not gonna get the best pattern. There's like one way you can do like 4 hits or something, and it's like 7 in total. So there's.
Oh man, all the bowling pins.
Yeah, the bowling pins are fun. Anyway, phew.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, I'm just glad I made it through there. I had a run last week where I had like the worst RNG. I constantly had these claws that were being thrown. It was not great. But yeah, doing this on 1 health is especially a little bit scary. So I'm just glad I made it through. Anyway, we saved all the kids. Yay.
Now we have to talk to them though. We can't skip this cutscene.
Yeah, this is unskippable.
Would this be a good time to sneak in some donations?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a $100 donation from Shelf that just says, caw.
Caw.
And a $5 donation from Anonymous saying, people I know say it's not a good look, but best beard style is mutton chops. Changed my mind. Let's get those beard suggestions in, chat.
Bring them on.
All right, that was another orb. We're moving on to the next stage, or the next world map here.
Yeah, this is going to be the last level swap, by the way, because we will be playing this in the nighttime, but for the rest, it's not really, well, it's mostly not too much of a matter what side we're playing, especially for the upcoming stages after the Smuggling Industries one. And this is a very fun stage with water currents, so yay. Let's see, go through here.
Rather confusing on a casual playthrough if you're trying to pick up all the collectibles and trying not to let Branson die, but luckily we just have to take the right path through here to get to the end.
Yeah, in the speedrun, this is pretty straightforward. Like, if you want to go for all the collectibles and such, so for those who wonder, there's a couple of coins that you collect, and you can collect a card and a music track per stage. So if you want to go for the 100%, that's pretty much what you want to do. And also there's upgrades, which at some point really are expensive. So at least the 100% is pretty doable that way.
Shout out to Swordsman Kirby. He at one point thought about routing 100%, but it never happened. So
Once you
I think
see,
it would change like the hour-long speedrun or so to like 5 hours maybe. It would be pretty extensive.
Hours at least, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
having to do both sides of every level, you know.
And for some of these particular levels, I think are the more like unique ones, like the alt levels that you don't play. Like, so, I mean, it is more reason to do like a full playthrough because, yeah, you don't see everything in the speedrun by far.
Yeah, there's so many levels that I haven't played in forever where I'm like, okay, what does it look like again? Like, it almost feel like for the first time. Ever since I started speedrunning this, it's been feeling like that. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to be found. So yeah,
I'm using these forklifts over here and positioning them.
Yeah, getting them in the right position can be a thing sometimes, so sometimes they're not always there, but I have to get them there like ASAP. So you go here. And of course there's lava in this level, because why not?
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go.
Forgot about that.
Marathon lock.
Yeah.
I like how Branson was almost saved there.
Almost. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This also reminds me of when I first started running this, and this was actually one of the places where I commonly died. But
this is just a great example of like we haven't seen many deaths at all, but you're just always so close because there's a lot of instant death. We're only on 3 hearts, so it's just a testament to how well Jangle's been playing most of the run.
Hugely so. Like Jangle's doing a good job because one thing I would say, like the speedrun in this game is full of kind of like interesting tech, but one thing that's legitimately hard to do is run a deathless.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has like.
Yeah, Dave has a deathless.
Oh, does he? Okay. Sorry,
I think
Dave.
at some point I had one death in one of my PBs, although I don't think it was in my current PB, but I've been trying to go there for at least. It will save me a great deal of time if I actually ever manage that, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where you can just die in this game, and it's like, well, okay, thank you.
Yep. Yeah. Time for the final few stages. Orto's Oasis. This one is not as bad, although there's some challenges here, but you'll see soon enough. There's a lot of dropping or floating platforms in this game, so there's quite a bit of tech involved with that.
All the worlds are also food related. I'm sure that's a nice little shout out to maybe Super Mario World.
Possibly.
Watch it just be like an original beer play creation.
It's
Developer
like
is just hungry that day.
it's like I just wanted shallots and orzo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. It's a food reference. Yeah.
There's a fun meme category for Super Mario World called Food Percent, where you eat something from every world in the run. And now it's got me thinking about what food percent would be for Beardblade.
That's a good point. Let me get it there.
Eating a stick of butter is not a thing I would recommend doing during a speed run.
Maybe not. Yeah, there's a lot of cannonball or spike ball cycles here. And so the thing that you notice is at some point they drop onto a platform. That's when you could get hit by them. But during the surrounding moments, you're totally fine. You can just roll past them. So that's what I try to do here and there. Okay. Couple more to go. This is actually the last regular smuggling fight we're going to do. Of course, this one is playing tough to get. But there we go.
All right.
Another sheep.
I feel it would be very fitting if Beardbarn explained Orzo coming up his contribution.
I'll get there when
Yeah, this is going to be a fun level. Oh yeah, first of all, so there's 3 doors that we can go through. This is the fastest, the last one, so we're just going to take this one. It's a branching path, pretty much.
It is. What is possible, because in the first door, there's kind of like a weird room where there's a mouse and he's on top of a screen and he's just kind of like walking to the left and he's triggering a bunch of blocks that you can go on. If someone were to absolutely beast mode the speedrun, it's possible that first door is faster because you can skip ahead of the mouse, but nobody's ever done it yet. So it's like a theory thing. And shout out to the developer here. When you crash through that wall.
Fingers crossed, by the way. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, yes, it's not free to get through here, but he added this skip for us, like the speedrunning community, because normally when you're on this platform, it's actually very slowly moving, and it takes about 1.5 minutes or like 2 minutes to just like auto scroll through this section.
Yeah, this part is way faster. Yeah.
I just literally messaged him one day, and I was like, "Is there any possible way, like, we could get something in the speedrun to skip this?" And he actually said yes, because realistically, that auto-scrolling section is like one of the only sections that Branson slows down. Like it just slowed to a crawl in the speedrun. And he very much added that for us, which is very cool. So he hid it behind like a little wall, and that's literally just 100% because of the speedrunning community and the developer just wanting to appease that community.
It's not easy to find that one though. Like it wasn't until I saw the speedrun I was like, oh, that's a thing, okay. And that made a lot of sense suddenly. So yeah, we got this is actually the sheep that is remaining that actually carries an orb, and we'll see him later probably. But first we have this boss fight. So this is also an interesting one in that the second part of this is kind of RNG heavy. The surrounding parts are not as bad, but you just have to avoid things here and there.
Gotta wait for a certain attack here that we can actually fight the boss and not just avoid.
Yeah.
It's a really unique combination because there's 3 phases of this boss. The first and third phase are scripted, and then the second part is mass RNG.
Yeah. So
tell us about this boss, Beardbarn.
So right now, you can see you're kind of like hitting some debris towards Orzo, and it's ping-ponging back and forth. I discovered on accident that you could, in the early days, like beard clamp up and kind of like hit his butt, and he would take damage that way, and you could do a quick kill. And as I said, it was like my first and proudest speedrunning discovery, and was patched out like 2 days later. So, so that's how it goes.
I tried doing it and it didn't work, sadly. It would have been pretty nice though if you were able to use your own beard just to attack him there.
100%. It removed all RNG in that fight. It was an amazing find.
Yeah.
You rip and take it.
But that was pretty good. Like, sometimes that can go back and forth for a while, the ping pong.
He can. It's possible to like reflect the shot 5 out of 5 times, but like sometimes you're stuck there reflecting the shot like 20 times. So it's a huge time waste.
Right, so we see Forbeau once again. This Forbeau guy is everywhere. There's something about him that's, I don't know.
Foreboding.
Foreboding, yeah. That brings us to the final level up here, the Fortress Tower. This is pretty much a boss fight. So let's see what's happening here. Go up here, and then suddenly we have, Forbeau's here. What is happening?
I mean, he's probably a good guy with his sheep. Oh no!
Oh
What's
no!
he doing?
We've been fooled.
I mean, he has a hood and a mustache. He's obviously a good guy.
Yeah.
See, no, the mustache, you're a good guy. When you run around with like a hood like that, no, that's when your character should be compromised. That's just an evil person cloak. Like, there's no other way.
Yeah, so now he has these orbs, which make him like Super Saiyan, basically. He becomes Razar, and he says, the final piece that I'm missing is you, so we're like, okay, we're gonna fight you. So this is like a DK-inspired fight, I guess, where you have to jump on those fists and then attack him. Time's gonna come up on the last hit, by the way, so get ready for that.
It's the most quintessential, retro-inspired final boss I think you could imagine. So it's really fitting to end the game like this.
This is actually
You
the best
actually-
pattern right here.
Yes, I was gonna say you actually want like the scissor pattern because even though the animation lasts longer, it's possible to jump 4 times and hit the boss this way. And
Time.
possibly time, yes.
There it is, time.
Nice run.
GG, sir.
Nice run.
Sub 50, 49.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
sub 50, I'll take it for sure. And that
100%
wasn't so
sub
bad
50 is
either. So,
tremendous.
yeah. And so we saved all the sheep, and now we can go home back to our farm. Yay.
And they're still all super smug about it.
Yeah, they've never been not smug. It's just amazing. So yeah, anyway, that's this game, Beardblade by Glovebox Games. Yeah, shout outs to Glovebox Games who made this beautiful, beautiful game. I highly recommend checking it out. Casually, it's usually it's frequently on, for sale on Steam as well. And if you want to speedrun this, feel free to hit any of us up. Speedrun pages, speedrun.com/beard_blade. You can find the Discord as well. And also, yeah, shout outs to Games So Quick for letting this game in. It's been a real surprise and honor that I got to show this off for this event. And also thanks to my fellow co-commentators. Any final words, anyone?
No, it's on sale, 50% off Steam right now. You can go get it. Shout out to Glovebox and all the indie devs that make games like this.
Yeah,
I love you.
go play it. It's a good time. Shout
Yeah,
out
thanks
Dave,
so much.
Birdman. Yeah.
And keep donating for good cause. And yeah, I speedrun various games, lots of retro stuff, and also some platformers like these. So if you'd like to see speedrun variety, feel free to drop me a follow on twitch.tv/janglestorm. And follow the rest of these guys as well, and Junkyard Dave. And thanks again. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up still, so get ready for that. And it was great to be back once again. Love y'all, and see you soon. And yeah, take care. Peace.
See you guys.
Great job, great job. That was an awesome Beardblade run. We have a $100 donation from Mooware saying, great job on the run, Janglestorm. I'm watching closely to get some good beard grooming tips from this run. Thank you so much for the donation. Everyone, thank you, thank you. We have a Dharma Dujo, any percent run by Lizstar coming up, but first, we're gonna take a quick break. Hey.
I know you're pinch hitting. Do you need anything? Water?
Waters. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Hope that everyone's having an awesome morning. Got a couple of donations that I want to read. First off, I've got a $25 donation from Yellsrake saying thank you to the GDQ staff for everything you do. And in case you weren't aware, Yellsrake and Chessjerk are going to be coming up for an any % co-op run in Gauntlet, which has an incentive for a bad exit showcase. We're just under $3,000 out of a $5,000 goal. We do want to see those bad exit showcases, so please, chat, audience, let's get that incentive met. And they are indeed coming in. We've got $25 from Silvermoon9000 saying, good luck, Liz, on the Dharma Dujo run, putting this towards the Gauntlet Bad Exit Showcase. Love seeing this happen, chat. We can definitely get there. We also have $25 from Professor Shinobi saying, a haiku. I believe I can fly. I don't need to do puzzles. I just need a box. Donation goes to the Gauntlet Bad Exit Showcase. Just like how I'm going to exit right about... Thank you so much for the $25 donation, Shinobi. We just got a $250 donation from Rad saying, cheers, SGDQ. Those sheep were so fluffy. They may be smug, but I would like to pet them. I also wanted to pet those sheep, as smug as they are. Thank you so much for your generous donation, Rad. And we still had some love coming in, not just for this Beard Blade run, but for so many of these games. $5 from Sly Dante saying, I love how GDQ can always serve as a showcase for smaller indie titles that deserve more love and attention, like Rights or Remnants of Nazeth, especially since they also make for some terrific runs. And Jangle's run of Beard Blade is no exception. He's clearly putting a lot of love into this platformer that has a lot of love already baked into it. Keep up the amazing stuff. Thank you so much for your donation, Sly. We have a $10 donation from Boy. Let's go! And folks, did you know that those donations also get you entered in to be able to earn some awesome prizes? We've got a life-sized Ivysaur plush for a $250 total cumulative donation that may go home with you or be sent out to you, as well as a lot of other really awesome prizes. And while you're putting in a donation, just like I was mentioning earlier, we've just broke in $3,000 for the Gauntlet Bad Exit Showcase. When you're making that donation, scroll down all the way to the bottom of the page. Before you go ahead and click that donate button, make sure that you click the add incentive button. Search for that incentive, find it, and click add. Just because you found it didn't mean you got it. So make sure you go ahead and make that assignment before making that donation. If you'd like that donate link, type !donate in chat. And this song is a banger. Seeing some headbangs here in chat, seeing some dancing here in the seats in the audience. We've got a few more donations. No comments with these, but thank you so much for your generosity. We have $100 from Space Lancer Jericho, another $100 from Gilmore, $250 from Nuclear Cheese, and $250 from the Gerarate. No comments with those, but thank you so much for your donations. And we have a $250 donation from Joypunk with a comment that says, Joypunk donates $250 with no comment. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you, Joypunk. We've also got a $25 donation from Flexi5 saying, I can't think of a witty message, but have my money anyway. Shout out to the mods, keeping chat cute. Chat is looking mighty cute right now. Good morning, everyone. And speaking of, we've got a $50 donation from Aid saying, daily reminder that chat, runners, hosts, staff, and audience are all cute. Aww. Thank you so much for that donation, that wonderful compliment, Aid. And lots of love here for all the folks that are involved. We've got a $50 donation from Hungry Grew saying, I always enjoy watching the GDQ runs. Thank you to the runners, hosts, and staff for all of the work that you do. Thank you, Hungry Grew, for your generous donation in raising money for MSF this week. Thank you, thank you. Even more love from the team, $10 from the Panda saying, love all the work going on for GDQ as always, and keep up the awesome runs. Thank you so much for your generous donation, Panda. All right, folks, I hope that you are ready for an awesome Dharma Dojo run by Liz Star. Any percent. Take it away, Liz Star.